And, well, as we start the news, we're getting pockets of some intermittent flooding in areas outside the capital following some 2 hours of rain and subsequent drizzling over the period. We'll bring you up to speed with the latest. But let's move on and talk on security, as the Ghana Police Service has intensified the search for 2 Canadian females believed to have been kidnapped in the Ashanti regional capital of Kumasi. The 2 were returning to their hostel on Wednesday evening when they were whisked into a red Toyota Corolla, which was believed to have been trailing them over the period. The Bureau of National Investigations is said to have started questioning some officials of the Kumasi Technical University, where the 2 were voluntarily as teachers. This is a second incident of kidnapping involving foreigners in Kumasi. An Indian, as you all would remember, who was kidnapped some 2 months ago, was later rescued. A statement issued by the Ghana Police Service is urging the public to provide any information that could assist in the arrest of the kidnappers. Are aged 19 and 20 and are volunteers with an NGO known as Youth Challenge International, housed in Ghana. An investigation, according to the statement, is said to have started immediately upon receipt of complaint, and the security agencies were said to be working closely together to get them rescued and the perpetrators arrested. Due to the nature of the case, the police, according to the statement, is entreating journalists, media discussants and all persons to be highly circumspect in the discussion of this matter in the media without first cross-checking facts from official police sources. And by conclusion, they added that anyone with information on the whereabouts of the suspect and the victims could contact the following hotlines or toll-free lines: 18855 or 191 across all networks. You can also do that on a national security go-to number through the number 0299202240. Well, please make sure that you also are always interacting on Facebook, and please tag the police. They have their Twitter handle and also their Facebook account. And for Facebook, you can get the police at GH Police Service, and on Twitter at GH Police Service. The statement was signed by Assistant Commissioner of Police David Eklu, Director General, Public Affairs. Meanwhile, the Canadian High Commission has issued a security alert to its nationals in Ghana and those who intend visiting. The alert covers concerns about inter-ethnic violence, demonstrations, fraud, scams, among many other related subjects. There's, however, no mention of kidnapping, on terrorism, crime and road safety. The alert reads that there is a threat of terrorism in Ghana. Terrorist attacks could occur at any time. Targets include government buildings, schools, places of worship, airports and other transportation hubs and networks. Public areas such as tourist attractions, restaurants, bars, coffee shops, shopping centers, markets, hotels and other sites frequented by foreigners could always be in danger. They added that their citizens should always be aware of their surroundings when in public places in Ghana. On crime, they said there is a problem of crime in large cities, including Accra and its surroundings. The area around the High Commission of Canada is said to have been affected as well. Petty crimes such as pickpocketing and purse snatching is said to be common. According to the caution, attacks by individuals on motorbikes are also common. In Accra particularly, the Greater Accra region neighborhoods of Agbogbloshi, Ashaiman, Aveno, Nima, except the main highway, Soutuom and Sukura, have been the site of violent crime. Avoid going into these neighborhoods, particularly at night, they said, and warned their citizens. Home invasions occur and thieves also target affluent areas in Accra where foreigners live. They also cautioned their citizens that thieves in Ghana also carry guns on the roads. They told their citizens that criminals often target foreigners traveling in taxis at night, and violent robberies were also frequent in Ghana. And so they added that if their citizens would have to use a taxi, they should ensure that there's no other passenger in the car and try to limit trips to daytime hours. There have been common occurrences of armed robberies of vehicles at night in areas such as Kumasi, Takrady and other parts of the Ashanti region. The caution said armed attacks at night, according to the caution, have also occurred along the Accra-Tema and Accra-Kumasi-Tamale highways. And we'll keep you up to date with the latest on the subject of what the investigations are, what the efforts of the security apparatus or authorities is, and then also keep you up to date with what the latest cautions from our known security experts right here on the show. But moving on, the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology and Innovation says we're taking a break. We'll be right back. Sorry for that break. I will have to continue. Like I was saying, the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology and Innovation says it is working closely with the Ghana Standards Authority to transform air quality guidelines into standards for the control of emissions from industries. Speaking at the 2019 World Environment Day here in Accra, the Deputy Minister for Environment, Science and Technology and Innovation, Patricia P.J., said air pollution is a national canker and her outfit is ready to help deal with the problem. Ifwa Evans Chinri reports.
According to the World Health Organization, Ghanaians are more likely to die from air pollution than those in some other comparable countries such as Kenya. Ghana's dirty air is characterized by rapid urbanization and trends in population growth in urban areas. Air pollution is linked to more than 28,000 premature deaths in Ghana every year, with people living in the capital Accra and other urban areas worst affected. Billions of people worldwide are exposed to dangerous levels of toxic air. According to the figures from the WHO, about 203 out of every 100,000 deaths in Ghana are air pollution related. This, the Deputy Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation attributed to poor waste management practices.
Ghana is working very closely with our global partners, particularly those who have recognized the threats that environmental pollution poses towards the survival of mankind to protect our environment. We are working closely with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, to study the effects of pollution, especially air pollution, on human health under the Health and Pollution Actions Plan. The report of Health and Pollution Actions Plan will be launched in July 2019. We are working closely with the World Economic Forum through the Global Plastics Action Partnership to partner with global leaders in government, development partners, civil society organizations, and private sector to implement our national policy and tackle the menace of plastics. We are working closely with the government of the Federal Republic of Germany to strengthen our policies and implement them sustainably to tackle the challenges we face with hazardous and electronic waste. And then, fourthly, the government has initiated a process to introduce clean, green, and sustainable transportation system in the country. The introduction of electronic and CNG buses will provide efficient public transport system to reduce traffic congestion in Accra, Kumasi, and other urban areas and reduce air pollution from vehicles.
Wife of the Vice President, Samira Bawumia, recounted the effect of dirty cooking fuels on women and children, particularly those in Africa. She cited the unnecessary burdening of the girl child with time-intensive household energy tasks.
we're using more charcoal in Ghana. And charcoal is even more dangerous because you need more firewood to make charcoal. So we're sort of solving one problem and creating a bigger problem. So our strategy is to move to even cleaner, and that's why we're working with the NPA to develop this new LPG projects where we're going to roll out affordable, accessible LPG across the country. Women and girls suffer the most, as we can imagine, because they're in the kitchen the most. And in Ghana, over 75% primarily of the population primarily uses solid fuels in cooking. And this way, it fills the homes with toxic smoke and polluting the air we breathe in the homes, endangering the health of millions of Ghanaians. And usually, of course, the women and girls suffer. So usually when I'm speaking to this issue, I'm glad Ghana Health Service is here and the UN resident coordinator is here, because we have different efforts. We have UNICEF working on children's health. We have UNFPA working on reproductive health. But we don't sit down together to look at the impact of pollution on all of these issues so we're throwing money, for instance, at maternal health, which is something I'm very passionate about. But the woman whom we're trying to help to have a healthy pregnancy and deliver a healthy baby is going home to a toxic kitchen and breathing these fumes. So you're really throwing your money away. So maybe the focus of all these international agencies should go to the root cause of all of these problems, because even children who are born underweight have been said, this is statistics and data indicate that these children grow up to have learning difficulties later in life. So where are we investing our funds in? Where are the monies going in so that we have a healthy future, a healthy today and a healthy future as well?
Air pollution is associated with high risk of death from cardiovascular and respiratory diseases. In many cases, air pollution exacerbates pre-existing conditions such as asthma and heart diseases.
Moving on, the majority in Parliament is dismissing a warning by the minority that Ghana's economy is in distress as a result of government reckless borrowing. They say the country's debt stock currently stands at some 200 billion Ghana cedis, of which more than 80 billion Ghana cedis has since been accrued way back from 2017 to now. The minority at the media briefing warned government of the endangered economy that the country is facing.
The total oil revenue that has been received between 2017 to 2018 and is expected to be received in 2019 currently stands at 12.3 billion Ghana cedis. So clearly this administration have received oil revenue up to 12.3 billion Ghana cedis over the short period. The Minority Caucus is deeply concerned about the recklessness or reckless borrowing of the NPP government. This extent of borrowing marks a betrayal of trust reposed in the president after he and his then vice presidential candidate promised in opposition not to borrow because, according to them, we had all the resources needed to finance our development. Not only has the president's insatiable appetite for borrowing exposed that promise as hollow, it also shows that he and his team do not possess the competence they claim to have to generate the domestic revenue to finance the national budget revenue. If you are to look at the 2019 budget, the government has projected to receive an amount of 45.2 billion Ghana cedis in tax revenue. If you are to add all three together, you will notice that government has received or is about to receive an amount of 113.4 billion Ghana cedis in tax revenue. Again, if we were to convert that in today's exchange rate, it's about 21.4 billion Ghana cedis. 21.4 billion US dollars. In addition to this, government has received a grant of 3.7 billion Ghana cedis so far, and this is made up of 2017, 1.5 billion in grant, 2018, 1.1 billion in grant, and 2019, government has projected to receive again an amount of 1.1 billion Ghana cedis in grant. Our concern is that this is against a government that has promised and has come out with a slogan that Ghana is beyond aid. Again, they are borrowing and getting a lot of money at the back of it.
However, a government spokesperson on the economy, Daniel Ochim Abuaje, says the economy is resilient and has the capacity to take on loans.
If you say a country is rich in debt, unsustainable test measured by what? It is measured by, what do you call it, debt to GDP ratio, which is, as I speak to you, slightly over 57%. In good shape. They had it at 73.4. So they can say whatever they want to say, but the numbers can support that.
So we can expect the government to continue doing the borrowing in order to get projects done, despite these concerns that are coming.
Even yourself, if you come to see me as a consultant, you're my friend. One of the secrets for success is borrowing your way into prosperity. You may not be able to grow your company or your whatever organically. If you use the money for the purpose for which you borrow, you can walk yourself out of poverty by borrowing responsibly. So borrowing by itself, as long as we remain a country where tax revenue is low, we don't have enough. Yet we are asking for road, we are asking for good hospitals, we are asking for our children to go to school. As long as we have needs, developmental needs, projects, roads, other things, we have to. But I can assure you, it will not make any sense for any government to sit down when people are dying of bad roads, when people are dying because of poor hospital facility, and you say, I don't want to borrow. What is that? Except to say that when you borrow responsibly.
Away from Parliament, in 2008, government awarded a contract worth over 800,000 cedis to rehabilitate an irrigation dam at Nakori in the Upper West region. The same year, some 75,000 cedis was also disbursed for the rehabilitation of an irrigation dam at Duori in the Upper West region. A project status implementation report from the Ghana Irrigation Development Authority dated the 13th of February 2019, however, indicated that 2 dams has also been completed. Well, but JoyNews Kwete Nate, who has been tracking oil-funded projects across Ghana, reports that the Nakori and Dori dams were yet to be completed. It is one of the highlights of the later JoyNews Hotline documentary, Leaking Oil, set for broadcast on Monday.
Nakore is not the only community where government allocated oil funds to help farmers. In 2008, 75,000 cedis was disbursed for the rehabilitation of irrigation dam at Duri in the Upper West region. 11 years on, it's only a concrete wall that was constructed by the contractor JK Royal Friends Ghana Limited. Though oil monies have been budgeted for it, all I see here at Duri is a dam swamped by overgrown weeds. Solomon Maswaza is assembly member of the Nasahiri electoral area. He is unhappy with how it's affecting farmers in Duri.
The dam project was allocated actually. We heard of the project, but we don't know the source of the funds. And then we don't even know the contractor who is at the site. So the district assembly, anytime they allocate a project to a community, we complain. It is always possible we should know the source of the funds and where the contractor comes from.
Has this project been done?
No, please. The project is not done. It is just this block you can see here. That's the bridge you can see here. That's the only work that I have done.
How is the absence of an effective dam affecting, life here?
Yes, actually, it is actually affecting our farmers. Our farmers here, sometimes it is good for our people to have garden at the dam here. But because of this project, we can't make any garden here.
The contractor who was awarded the rehabilitation of Nakore Dam has agreed to meet me. I head to Tichima in the Bonohafu region. I meet Adam Wala, a tall, frail-looking old man. He claims he couldn't complete the project because he did not receive all the funds he needed for the job before the contract was abrogated.
Na we be sending into scanning in Mauya, but contract and ya cancel.
When Mukoye minty, Minoho, Minim was some Nippon song. Say mean Jay Juman Gania. Gania, where friend of what dear, why a friend of what dear. Was he mean judgment? No man see how see men fight one man. No, see me yan and tam, no, see Jumadia, I see I show no what dear and a year. Near what dear and a year, Miana Mia Jumano. Miana Mia Jumana, but Lucy saying, Kakara, dear Ruben de Mamma, we Jumano, whom farm mamma, or see one farm mamma. Until ya can't see me or see me jay Jumano, my jay, ya sure against her Jumano, see me jay Jumano. Miss or Bian Sinful contractor Bian Hobby and show her. Missy contractor be sure and showing channel because Mina Misha say Jumana Badrisi say Bian Coho. Now, how say Mutimama Gania, Namen ho, Mimbo Mimui. Until yes, she no. Ya bois, ya first Gabia mamma. Kajuka the enemy on a media Jumano.
Cannot yet be my dear.
Ya trebi, Ustica de Triamano, on a media Jumano. Atucaning in Antria, Cascaning in Atria and Gajuman will be a cry.
Na we be so more nientia yentia what the can.
I didn't know be so against character against you say, Judgment will be no Sanako business, the auntie.
Documents cited by JoyNews from the National Investment Bank and dated January 12 indicate that Adam Wala Enterprise Limited's contract was terminated because the contractor performed below expectation. This runs contrary to the Irrigation Development Authority's claim that the 800,000 cedi project has been completed. The NIB report also tasks the Irrigation Development Authority to come up with an estimate of the additional funds necessary for completion of a project and for the National Investment Bank to make the funds available.
And that's it for the show. That's a segment of the show, of course, the latest news headlines. But we'll continue with the show, and please make sure that you get interactive. But I ran by you what we have for the morning, but I'll do that once again. We have a discussion on fertility and whether a percentage, or if not a larger percentage of men, could also to be cited to be one of the main reasons why fertility issues become a problem in relationships. So we'll have a health expert in the studio to help us do some discussions. And talking about health, etc., one thing that also impacts on our health is the type of food we eat, but also how safe the food is. It's not only how safe the food is, but also how safe the ingredient that is used in preparing the food is. So we decided to go to Agbogloshi. You see me there, yours truly. I decided to go to the slums of Agbogloshi to get to see how the poor sanitary conditions could be affecting the food you eat. It's quite interesting, the things we found out on today's package. It's all in connection with the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization marking World Food Safety Day. It's on the theme, food safety should be everyone's business. Okay, yeah, can see who has some is bana ye busy and fertility hon salmon so into more pork chop. Nina is easy. Therefore break, ever.